A chocolate company organized a promotional event for their new product. While the excited audience eagerly awaited a taste of the delicious treats, they discovered a corpse hidden inside, terrifying everyone at the scene. Owner Jimmy assured them there was absolutely no body when they poured the chocolate. However, since the chocolate sculpture was so massive, they had to set up a temporary outdoor facility for production, meaning there was no surveillance footage the agents were hoping for. The medical examiner found a depression near the victim's occipital bone, likely caused when the killer's head struck the mold while placing the body into the chocolate mixture. The good news was that Angela reconstructed the victim's face, and agents at the chocolate factory confirmed the deceased was their employee, Harriet. His disappearance hadn't been reported because everyone assumed he'd gone to Barcelona for a cocoa bean symposium. However, an engineer recalled that Harriet had a sister living in Virginia. While Angela was scanning the body, she discovered 2 air bubbles above the victim's mouth. She suspected these might be the last 2 breaths the victim exhaled before death. If they could extract the gas intact, they might find something valuable. Agents then discovered the victim changed jobs annually. Camille successfully extracted air from the bubbles using a syringe. The female agent also found a laceration on the victim's radius bone from 6 months prior. What made it special was the complete absence of any treatment marks, suggesting he was in a location too remote for modern medical care. Investigation revealed that Harriet developed romantic relationships at every company he worked for. His most recent involvement was with Bellomo, a winery owner who had filed a lawsuit against him for harassment calls after his resignation. Hodgins happened to detect champagne produced by Bellomo's company in one of the air bubbles. When questioned, the owner claimed they had a good relationship and he'd even fantasized about marriage. But Harriet suddenly broke up, citing a need for personal space, and took away his biggest distributor. The phone calls were just to vent his anger. Vincent discovered a tiny proliferative lesion in the unhealed wound, a foreign object the bone tissue had encapsulated during healing. After Hodgins analyzed it, he identified insect fragments from a tea mosquito bug, which feeds primarily on cacao trees. This indicated Harriet had visited a cocoa farm in Indonesia 6 months earlier. Agents found a company called Fresh Fruit Chocolate that required new employees to study cocoa in Indonesia. Although records showed the victim wasn't a Fresh Fruit employee, considering all his previous employers suffered significant losses after his departure, agents suspected Harriet was a corporate spy. His final job was likely sabotaging this chocolate factory on Fresh Fruit's behalf. Agents quickly discovered Fresh Fruit had never abandoned their acquisition attempts of Walbert Chocolate. Since the target kept refusing, all 6 hostile takeover attempts failed. Clearly, Fresh Fruit sent saboteurs out of frustration. Faced with police evidence, Fresh Fruit's owner admitted Harriet was their hired corporate spy. The company sent him to Indonesia for training, where he sustained the arm injury while harvesting cocoa. The remote rural location prevented access to advanced medical treatment. Regarding Harriet's death, the female owner suggested agents investigate the chocolate factory's owner-manager, explaining that Harriet had called her a week prior, saying he thought his cover was blown. Vincent found an ante-mortem injury on the victim's left ring finger. The circular damage pattern indicated someone had forcibly removed something from his hand. Agents returned to the chocolate factory, but the murder case had caused sales to plummet. Jimmy was hostile when he saw them. The suspect even got physical with the agents, who immediately cuffed him and brought him to the station. But when Jimmy learned Harriet was a corporate spy,